Isaiah is after the Psalms, kind of past the middle of the Bible. Isaiah chapter 6. So it starts out with, in the year that King Uzziah died, this would be Isaiah, I saw the Lord sitting on the throne, high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. So what would the train of his robe be, ladies? What's a train? Think of something, an article of clothing that has a train. Not like the choo-choo one that was around your Christmas tree, a different one. A wedding dress has a train. And if you saw Princess Diana's wedding a number of years ago, 30-ish years ago, her train must have been a quarter mile long. Oh my goodness, the train on her dress was like unbelievable. Yeah, I had one, it had great big bows on it, like about this big of bows that went down the back of it, and I don't know how long it was kind of sort of long. So imagine the train of your gown is long enough to go from heaven to earth. It's like really long. Would that be long, Rivers? That would be really long. So the train of his robe fills the temple. Now, if you're God and you have a train on your robe that's going to go from heaven to earth, would you expect that it would fill the temple? Yeah, it would be like pretty big, right? Like a lot. So do you think this is a real train on a real robe? No. So there must be something else about that, right? Because that would be something to see, wouldn't it? Like you look outside and you go, wow, where's that train going?
Coming from?
Well, it's coming from up there somewhere, but where's it going? It's kind of like the rainbow. You see a rainbow. Can you ever get to the bottom of the rainbow when you're chasing it?
It's like the winds, the wind is blowing from the east to the west, or where does the wind start?
The wind blows from the east to the west, which is really a circle.
What's the beginning?
I saw the Lord sitting on a throne, high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. There are some other places that talk about the robe of God filling a temple. You can find it in Exodus, you can find it in Ezekiel, you can find it in Revelation, that the train of God's robe fills the temple. Verse 2, above it stood seraphim. What are seraphim? Angels with 6 wings. Each one had 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. What do you suppose it's meaning when it's talking about covering a face and covering feet? Anybody have an idea? You had the last answer.
Wait, I didn't get the answer. I just mentioned something about it. Are you going to get more into the train?
I am going to get more into the train. So here we have these angels that have 6 wings with 2 of them. Now imagine, who are you standing in front of? Who are these angels around? Around God, okay? So if you are an angel and you're around the throne of God, what would this mean?
Honor, praise, honor,
Respect,
yeah.
humility,
Yeah.
covering their feet. If you're going to cover your feet, do you just like cover your feet, or do you cover your feet? Well, if I had my long coat on, which I don't have here, but if I had my long coat on, I don't see a long coat. If I'm going to cover my feet, I do like this. Cover my feet. And I'm kind of crouching down a little bit, and I'm probably looking down so I can cover my feet. I'm going to cover my feet. this idea of being in front of God, doesn't it call for some respect, some humility, some reverence? Yes.
In other places, respecting God is uncovering.
Yeah, there's a whole study on feet that would probably explode your mind, Carrie. Yeah. Yeah, yours too. It would explode your mind. Someday we'll have to study that together. Yes. You maybe you would think that. So here we have, okay, so this idea of let's say God in this moment, right? Okay, God. Because Isaiah sees this throne. I guess I've spoken God. Would you think this would be anybody other than God? Isaiah's seen this throne. It's really high in the sky. It's high and lifted up. So is it being held up or is it lifted up because of the prominence of who is on the throne? Okay, angels supporting the throne. We know that there are angels there because it talks about these seraphim. Actually, these seraphim are above the throne, above the throne, stand these seraphim with these wings that are covering the face, covering their feet in this posture of humility and reverence. So who do you have the idea that this might be? Before I had spoken it out of my mouth. God. So here he is, and Isaiah sees him. This is a really freaky thing for people to see God. Now, we talked about it would be really nice and it would be like amazing and awesome if we could just see God, right? People in the Bible, when they saw God, they freaked out. Like they freaked out. We're going to talk about why they freaked out here in a minute. Okay, so here are these angels. And they are crying out. Now, this idea when it says they cried out to one another, this is actually just being really loud. They're not crying. They're not crying to each other. It's not crying. This is just really, it means really loud. It means proclaiming. It means making sure everybody can hear. They cry out to one another and they say something. What do you think they say? We just sang it. Oh. Well, they're seeing him. So they wouldn't say, I want to see you, because they see him. But they do say, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. Now, in Revelation, it says that those who are around the throne of God say, holy, 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 Lord God Almighty. So there is this picture of when you're around the throne of God, what are you declaring? His holiness. You're declaring his holiness. And how many times did they say holy, Marguerite? 3 times. What do you suppose that might mean, Nevaeh? Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. Holy, 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 holy is the Lord of hosts. Okay, and they say it 3 times. They probably say it over and over and over, but when they say this statement, it's holy, holy, holy. Why do you think 3 times? Any idea? He is really holy. Father, Son, how many of them are holy? They're all holy. Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, holy, 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 Lord of hosts. So in the Old Testament, there is someone in particular the Lord of hosts is. Sometimes he's called the angel of the Lord. Sometimes he's called the commander of the Lord's army. There is someone who is the Lord of hosts. Who would the hosts be? Hosts of angels. So the Lord of hosts. Gabriel is the Lord of the angels?
No.
Who is the Lord of the hosts? Jesus. So here we can say that we have this throne that is high and lifted up, and there are angels all around, and we say this is God. In particular now, who are they identifying this to be? Sitting on the throne? Jesus. So this is Isaiah before Jesus is born as a man, before Jesus lives here, before Jesus goes to the cross, before Jesus ascends and goes back to heaven. Who does Isaiah see? Jesus. Take a look. I want you to look at a couple of verses here. Let's see. Let's go to Ezekiel 1. And someone else go to Daniel 10. Let's see, I'll do it here. You got Daniel 10? Sean does? Who's got Ezekiel 1? Anybody have Ezekiel 1? Anybody? Cynthia? Somebody got Ezekiel 1? Okay. In Ezekiel 1, Ezekiel is seeing something. First, he sees these creatures. And then when you get to verse 23 through 28. You want to read that, Cynthia?
23 to 28.
Uh-huh.
And under the firmament were their wings. Right there, you come up?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Their wings were stretched, and one towards the other. Each one had two, which covered on this side, and every one had two, which covered on that side, their bodies. And when they went, I heard noise of their wings, like the noise of a great waters, as the voice of the Almighty, the voice of speech, as the noise of a host. When they stood, they let down their wings, and there was a voice from the firmament that was over their heads when they stood and had let down their wings. And above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a seraphim stone, sapphire stone. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above upon it. And I saw the color of amber and the appearance of fire round about it, within it. From the appearance of the lions even upward, and from the appearance of the lions even downward, I saw as it were the appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about, and the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain. So was the appearance of the brightness around about it. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. And when I saw it, I fell upon my face, and I heard a voice of one that spake.
Oh! Who in the world did...
John and AC.
Oh, the baby's here. Well, obviously the baby trumps. Cynthia,
Yes,
who did Ezekiel see?
he saw Jesus
Where?
in the throne
Where was the throne?
in heaven.
Does it say heaven?
Oh,
He was in a vision, but in proximity, where's the throne?
hold on here.
Verse 26.
26. Oh, well, the firmament.
Above them, over their heads,
Yes,
above them is this throne.
yes.
So Ezekiel is seeing, just like Isaiah saw, a throne that is high above, and who is on it again?
Jesus.
And Jesus is on this throne. Daniel chapter 10, Sean. I want to say 1 through, let me get there, 1 through, let's see. Not 1, 2. Go 2 through 6.
At that time, I, Daniel, had been mourning for 3 straight weeks. I ate no fancy foods, neither meat nor wine entered my mouth. Furthermore, I didn't use any ointment until the end of the entire 3 weeks. On the 24th day of the first month,
Who did Daniel see? He saw Jesus. And where did he have to look to see him?
I lifted my eyes to look, and to my surprise, there was a certain man.
He looked up. So would it be any surprise for us to see Isaiah looks up and sees something pretty incredible? Now, Isaiah is seeing this throne high and lifted up. The train of the robe of Jesus is filling the temple. What do we know about the sanctuary in the wilderness and God? A lot. Okay. What do we... The Shekinah glory? Where was Shekinah glory? Resembles the one in heaven. You've got the golden cherubs. You've got... Where is all of that? It's in the most holy place of the sanctuary. So in the most holy place of the sanctuary, you have what's representing the throne of God. You have the Shekinah glory, and you have the people who describe this as light and smoke that fills the temple. When God is present, there's light and smoke filling the temple. We're going to be interrupted here for a minute, and I'm going to be totally preempted. So I just thought I'd... Oh, they walked back out. Okay, so here we have an interesting picture. As Isaiah sees the Lord sitting on the throne, his robe is filling the temple. Where does Jesus have reign? And in earth. And remember, there's this prayer that was prayed. Hi, Keely. Big sister, you are? You have this prayer that was prayed that says to do things on earth as they're done in heaven. So there's this connection that's being made from the heaven to the earth that is connected with Jesus. Is making sure that there's a connection. I rule here and I rule here. I'm present here and I'm present here. I am, what did Aleli say? God is everywhere. So here Jesus is presenting himself. He is one who is holy. He is holy in heaven. He is holy on earth. Because what does he fill? What does his robe fill? It fills the temple. Jesus is worthy of worship because he is holy on earth as he is in heaven. Okay? Go ahead.
About the robe. There was a cultural thing in the day. If you went to a different country to conquer it, you would cut off the king's robe and you'd sew it onto yours. And so it'd make yours longer. If you conquered a lot, you'd have a really long train.
Cool.
And so Jesus
It's the conqueror.
he conquered Satan's kingdom.
Sure.
And so his robe is
Sure. Although I don't think he has Satan's robe sewn to his.
Where did Satan claim this?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Statement of his leadership everywhere.
Sure. Of his leadership, of his authority, of his kingship, everywhere. So, notice that the angels proclaim in verse 3, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And over and over and over in the Bible talks about the whole earth being full of Christ's glory. Revelation, Ezekiel, Psalm, Habakkuk, Numbers, all over the place. The earth is full of the glory of the Lord. What would that mean to you? If the earth is full of the glory of the Lord. It would be a peaceful place. Is the earth a peaceful place? But so does that mean the glory of the Lord is not here?
You can experience peace in this place of chaos.
Hey, Mama. Bryony is in the house, just so we're just... Bryony. Brian E. Bryony. Bryony. Yes. Means the healing vine. Yes. And here she is in all her glory. A little Christmas present all wrapped up. Okay, so here we are. We have the seraphim are proclaiming in a really loud voice all together. Is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. They're singing in concert all together, but something happens. Verse 4, the posts of the door were shaken by the voice of him who cried out. So you have this chorus of angels who are crying out, who are making this proclamation, and in doing so, things are shaking.
Yes.
And the house was filled with smoke. So I said, Isaiah, happy and blessed am I, because I just saw God. He didn't say that, Nate? He didn't say that. He didn't say that, Cynthia? Oh, wouldn't you say that? Because that's what we were just talking about. Happy and blessed would I be if I could just see God face to face. Like, yes. And we said it, and we proclaimed it, and we stated it, and we said that would be like a really cool, awesome thing, right? And so here's Isaiah. He sees Jesus. High and lifted up on a throne, and the train of his robe fills the temple, and the angels are all singing and crying out, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts, and the whole earth is filled with the glory of God. And Isaiah goes, yes, this is awesome! I see Jesus. He didn't say that. No. Oh. Woe is me, for I am undone. You know what undone means? I'm a sinner. I'm a big fat sinner. Me, I'm a sinner. Oh man, I am in trouble. I'm a man of unclean lips. I cannot praise with these angels. I cannot sing in concert with them. They are all singing, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. I can't do that. Oh man, that's Jesus. And they're all singing to him, and I can't sing with them. That's what's going on here. If you were one who would use this phrase, you would say, oh my God. Right? Oh. I'm a man of unclean lips. I cannot praise. Angels have pure lips. They can praise. I have unclean lips. I cannot praise. I cannot sing with the angels. And we have this picture that we create here that we talk about. And we did it this morning because we will say, wouldn't it be awesome to see God right now? Like if Jesus just showed up and see him face to face, and we would just sing with the angels, and there would just be this big chorus, and it would be amazing, right? And yet the truth of the matter is, wait. I can't do that. I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. I dwell with people who are not holy. And I have just seen the King. In Judges, they're pinching her. I saw it. Yeah, whatever. In Judges, we have the story of Samson's dad, who realizes he has just seen Jesus and freaks out. We are going to die. And he is assured that he is not going to die. It's okay. Would that be a good assurance? Now this happened more than once to people who saw Jesus and said, holy cow, I'm going to die. This is like a bad thing. Daniel fell on his face as though he were a dead man. Like, ah! We go, yes, I want to see Jesus. It's going to be so cool. Yes, Jesus, right? And they're going, no, Jesus, right? Like, that's really different. Do we not get it, or did they not get it? One of us doesn't get this. Or maybe neither one of us do. I don't think we get it. There you go. See, it's mom. Notice what happens. Then one of the seraphim flew to me. And I had this picture when I first studied this. This seraphim left Jesus to go to Isaiah. The seraphim left Jesus' side to come to me. He left that place where he's declaring the holiness of who we know to be the Savior. He leaves that place to come here to see Isaiah. But he comes here with something really important. It says, having in his hand a live coal, which he had taken with the tongs from the altar. What is the fire at the altar? What are they talking about here? Purification like more. A live coal from the altar. What's the altar? I'm sorry? No, not the altar of incense, because it's a coal. It's a live coal. The altar of burnt offering. What does the altar of burnt offering represent? No, that's the incense. The sacrifice of Christ. How often was there something on that altar? Always. There were two specific times that there were sacrifices made on that altar. Anybody know? Morning and evening. There was a morning sacrifice and an evening sacrifice, keeping this altar burning, reminding the people constantly that there is a sacrifice being made for you. Now, when I'm a sinner, when I figure out that I'm a sinner and I need to go and make recompense for my sin, I would take the lamb and I would go to the temple and there would be this sin offering that would happen. But outside of that, there is a constant reminder to the people that there is someone who gives their life for you. There is an offering, a burnt offering that provides what for you? Forgiveness, which equals what? Reconciliation. It's my. Okay, keep going. Keep going. Atonement. Which is, it's a big S word. It's a really big S word. Sanctification? Nope. Yeah, nope. I'm sorry. No, sage. It's a big S word.
Was that it?
Say it again.
Salvation.
Salvation. This altar of burnt sacrifice is the sozo. The altar of burnt offering is what I could see morning and evening constantly. There is a reminder that there is a sacrifice given for me that gives me ultimate salvation. Just that gives me ultimate salvation. And so here we have this angel, this seraphim that comes to Isaiah, and in his hand, which is fascinating to me, in his hand he takes with tongs this live coal. What would that mean? A live coal. Hot, glowing, burning coal. Pure, potentially, but it's off this altar. Yes. Yes. So notice where it goes. And he touched my mouth. Because what had Isaiah claimed was wrong with him? Unclean lips. I'm a man of unclean lips. This is the bad part of me right here. Because what comes out of our mouths? Trash. Things that probably shouldn't come out of our mouths. And Isaiah is declaring, he said, not only am I a man of unclean lips, but I'm living with all of you. And y'all people of unclean lips. Like, we're in this together. And the angel comes and he touches Isaiah on his mouth, that which Isaiah declared was unholy. That which Isaiah declared was unholy. He was touched with the representation of the gift of salvation on his mouth and said, "Behold, this has touched your lips. Your iniquity is taken away and your sin purged." Now, I'm a purger. I love to purge. I will not only purge at my house, I will come to your house and purge freely. I love to purge. I've been purging in the office. I will purge. I just purged at Tara's house. Like, I will so purge. I love to purge. Like, why do you have this? Why is it in a box on the top of your closet? What are you doing with it? If it's in a box on the top of your closet, it should go away. Either someone else can use it or we should throw it away because it's obviously of no value or use to you. So, I will. Girl, I can do that. I will just say, Cynthia, really? I know how to do that. I totally know how to do that. I totally know how to do that. Like paying for storage is just illogical to me. Why would you pay to put things in boxes to have them somewhere? And if y'all have storage, I don't mean to offend you, but it's illogical to me. All right, so notice. The angel says, as Isaiah's lips are being touched, as his mouth is being touched with this live coal, behold, this has touched your lips, your iniquity is taken away, and your sin is purged. What can Isaiah now do that he couldn't do before? Praise with the angels with his mouth. He now can join the choir of angels and he can declare with a pure heart, holy, holy, holy. Does he now know God to be holy in a different way than he understood before? Yeah, God is holy, right? I mean, everybody knows that. God is holy. Well, I don't know what that is.
But it's deeper.
Oh, because why?
Because now he's clean to sin. He can see it.
Oh, he can see something differently now that his eyesight changed.
Yeah.
But so something happened when the coal touches his mouth that like fixes his eyes? I need my eyes fixed, Cynthia, because I cannot see. And he can see something differently. This little piece, this little verse 7, behold, this has touched your lips, your iniquity is taken away, and your sin is purged. What did Isaiah do to accomplish this? He proclaimed his sinfulness. Did he have anything to do with the coal and the touch and the bringing it to him and the touching of his? He didn't have anything to do with that. All he did was say, woe is me, I'm undone, proclaimed his sinfulness. So let's go to Luke 15 and the lostness, the lost sheep, the lost coin, the lost person. What did we discover repentance is? What? Accepting being found, but I can't accept being found if I don't figure out I'm lost. So Isaiah proclaims his lostness here. And just like boom, I'm lost. Boom. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah,
I got this.
Yeah.
I don't know where you guys are in all this, but this this is cool. I am lost.
You know, I see Isaiah at this point never living the same again. He
Oh, no.
completely been changed.
Oh, sure. And we're going to see that.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't believe I didn't mess that baby up too bad when I slapped my hands together. I apologize for that. I just figured it out. She's good.
When you have the second child, you say
Yes.
turn that vacuum on.
That's
not
right.
yell all the
Make
time.
it loud.
Make it loud.
Yes.
He said, I'm undone.
Yes.
The word done means like done, like finished.
Like finished.
Complete.
Yes.
I'm undone.
I am not finished.
And I realized I've got work, I've got to grow. So if he says I'm undone. But there's some people that think that they are done. But they don't, after they realize that they're undone, and they hear this salvation message, don't return to the same state as before.
Of doneness.
Of doneness. Now they realize
Right.
they're
I mean, Isaiah he was kind of a done guy. I mean, Isaiah's a good guy. Isaiah's the done one. As I, preview out here, Isaiah's done. And he goes, no, I'm not done. The gospel is right here. This is it. Yes.
The word of God says that all our righteousness is filthy rags.
Right.
So he's seen
Yeah.
how undone he really was.
Yeah. Yeah, you think I'm done? Yeah, no, you don't know me. No, that whole preacher thing you see me is not all of me.
But then when God says, but you don't need any condemnation, it's not the same state as he was in before.
No.
Even
Right.
though he realizes he doesn't have to prove himself and be better to be a friend of God. Right? It's just
It's a change of understanding of relationship. It's a change of understanding of the character of God. It's what we talk about all the time. So Isaiah's understanding of God was, when I see you, I die. This was the understanding in the Old Testament. We see it over and over and over again. I see God, I die. Period. It's how it works. See God, die. And here is Jesus, who touches him through the angel, through this live coal, and has this message for him that says, no, I fix this. I change who you are. I change your understanding of you with me that changes everything, which is pretty amazing because then Isaiah hears the voice of the Lord saying, I wonder who we could send. Who would go for us somewhere? And Isaiah doesn't need to hear anymore. He goes, no, me. Me, please send me. Please send me. I'm ready to go. Here I am. Send me. And God says to him, okay, well, I can just imagine Isaiah, who is no longer intimidated, by the way, wanting to know, okay, where am I going? Where am I going, God? I'm so excited. And God says, well, you're going to go back and talk to the same people you've been talking to. All those people who won't listen to you. All those people who aren't paying attention, all those people who call you names, all those people who, like Noah at the time of the flood, went, you're nuts, like, you crazy old man. And I'm thinking to myself, can I have like a different audience, please? Because I know this one, and I'm not so sure. God says, go and tell this people, keep on hearing but do not understand, keep on seeing but do not perceive. I'd like to see if maybe we can understand what this is saying. Talk to the people, encouraging them to hear, but they won't. Yes?
One thing I take from this also, up to this point, Isaiah heard the Lord through visions and through the angel. Here you hear directly.
Which would change his everything.
Because now he's hearing God directly. And not through.
A vision or a mediator. Keep on hearing but do not understand. Keep on seeing but do not perceive. Isn't that who he's talking to? He's talking to people who are hearing and don't get it, who are seeing and don't get it. And then he says something interesting in verse 10. Make the heart of this people dull. Now, can Isaiah make their heart dull? But can he, by virtue of the message that he's giving, that's the same message, but it's certainly expanded now, saying, Jesus has this. He's here to save your life, like literally. Like, you need to listen to this message, and he's been giving the message over and over and over. Can it be that someone can hear the same thing so much that they finally go, blah, 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 blah? Children know that. Adults know that. Their ears are heavy. I'm so tired of hearing this. My eyes are shut. Seriously, like, do I have to pay attention one more second? Lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and return and be healed. Something really cool and amazing could happen if we could just hear, if we could just see, if we could just understand, if we would allow ourselves a new perspective. If I could just step back for a minute and go, well, now wait a minute. You know how you've read something, you read something, you read a verse, or you read a story, or you read something, and I know that story. You know what? Don't bother reading that to me, because I know that story, okay? I've heard it a million times. But what if you go, wait. Could you do that one more time? So here are people who say, yeah, I've heard it a million times. I'm sick and tired of listening to you. I don't want to listen to you anymore. And God is here saying, if they would just, if we could just allow ourselves to hear again, to see again, to maybe understand, oh my goodness, you'd be healed. I would be healed. Yes?
I know for me, if I find myself thinking that way about a particular story in the Bible, then that's a flag to go, I must not understand. If I think I'm done reading this, I need to go deeper because God has something to tell me through the story that I think I need to hear.
That I've heard a million times. Yeah, I know how this story ends.
That's like when they pointed the Hubble telescope at the most boring part of space.
Hmm.
Let it exposed for 3 days. And they found there was all these galaxies that they never knew were there.
Yeah. If we just look again, allow a fresh look. Were you going to say something? You took a, no? Okay. We'll go ahead and exhale then. And then Isaiah says, verse 11, he says, and I'm just thinking, Isaiah, I know me. Okay, I'm thinking me. This is what I'm thinking, me. Okay. Man, God has just changed my life. Like Jesus just did this thing and my iniquity is purged and I'm like okay with him and he loves me and I'm not going to die. And I hear him saying, who's going to go share this really cool, awesome message with somebody? And I go, me! I want to, please. Okay, where do I go? Why don't you go back to seeing people and tell them, all those people you've been talking to. And then I'm going to go, how long do I have to do that? How long? I don't know if Isaiah said it like that or not, but I'm thinking, I might say, for a week, and then I can move on. Do I get a new assignment? If I do this for a month, then do I get my new assignment? And there's going to be new people who are going to listen and pay attention? And God responds with, until the cities are laid waste and without inhabitant, the houses are without a man, the land is utterly desolate. The Lord has removed men far away, and the forsaken places are many in the midst of the land. That's a really long time in the same place with the same people who don't want to listen to this really good news. I know a really good thing. It's a really good thing. Nobody wants to listen. Verse 13, but yet a tenth will be in it. There will be some, and will return and be for consuming, as a terebinth tree or as an oak whose stump remains when it is cut down, so the holy seed shall be its stump. It will look like there is nobody listening, and yet don't stop. Declare this until your last breath, because there will be someone who will hear it. This brings me, I hadn't intended on saying this, but it brings me to, I had mentioned in Sabbath school. My stepdad at 67 was in the hospital with his third bout of cancer, and it wasn't looking good. And he had come to a similar understanding of Christ in his life. And I was uninterested in hearing anything that he might have to say. And yet, when he died, it was the beginning of my journey to Christ. So as a result of his death, something begins to happen in me, in my anger and my sorrow and my, I don't understand this. He's young, he's a good man, he's doing good things. There's a 2,000 member church praying for him. Why did this man die? It was the beginning of my journey, February 9, 1999. you don't know who's listening. You don't know whose life will be changed. There are people who have encountered you and or this body sometime in the last 6 years, and I'm going to suppose many, who you don't even know about, whose lives are changed, have been changed, are being changed, or will one day be changed as a result of meeting you and or this body.
Could even be us.
Could even be